Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all three past performance formats. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code ONEFREEPP for a free single card today.
Dan Illman, Mike Buer taking a look at race number 10 at Keeneland on Sunday. It's the Grade 2 Bourbon on Spinster Sunday. This race is at a 1.16 mile on the turf for 2-year-olds. $350,000 is the purse, and it's a prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Remember that deal for DRFTV viewers, 10% off all DRF past performances. Use the coupon code DRFTV10. Shop now, access the QR code. Let's take a look at the field for the Bourbon, and it is an overflow field of 2-year-olds hoping to be Breeders' Cup bound. 12 in the body of the race, 13 through 15 are also eligibles. No true standout in here, Mike, although the 6 Cavallo Bay ran a good third last time out in New York in the With Anticipation.
Yeah, we'll see if that horse can improve a little bit. It was certainly a good field, and maybe a tougher one that he faces here. So we'll see. Really well connected colt. We'll see if he can improve off of that performance. Kind of feels like it. We'll see how the betting all shakes out, Dan. Kind of feels like the 10 Clock Tower is going to take a lot of money in here. Turf debut last time. I know it was at Kentucky Downs. Could hardly have been more impressive than he was winning that.
Showed super speed that day, Mike. One of several last out maiden winners, several from Kentucky Downs as well. Let's see where Timeform US has him after the first half mile on the Timeform US pace projector. And no surprise, Clock Tower expected to be close to the pace. Golden Afternoon was a debut winner at Kentucky Downs, went a pretty fast pace going 6.5. But I wonder if Clock Tower can be rated. He is quick.
Yeah, based on Clock Tower's turf debut last time, don't be surprised if he's in front. Not only did he show a lot of speed, he was very alert from the gate, breaking from the rail. I suspect he'll be forward. Certainly Golden Afternoon, he was sprinting in his debut, and he showed good speed in that race.
Cavallo Bay, the number 6, has the LP designation over his chicklet. That indicates he has the fastest Timeform US late pace rating. Maybe he would benefit from the expected fast pace. Warheart is the number 1 for Rudy Brissett, a nice winner second time out at Kentucky Downs. Was beaten first out at Colonial, but stretched out to 7 furlongs here. Made the lead in the stretch after chasing a pretty solid pace and his game to hold sway.
Yeah, this runner up here takes a big run at him late. Looks like he's going to go right on by here, but Warhart, to his credit, he digs in here, and he's going to sort of hold that horse off at the end and get the job done. I thought nice improvement from start 1 to start number 2. We'll see if he can improve again, Dan, because I think he has to against this field.
Warlander, the number 2, is dismissed at 25-1 for his career debut at Saratoga for Steve Asmussen, and ran quite well, up close to a slow pace. Just couldn't sprint with them in the stretch, but only beaten a half length. Found a nice spot second time out. We know Asmussen excels with second time maidens, and Warlander beat 2 next out winners.
Yeah, got a great trip in this race. Just sort of sat right up behind. That's, one of his calling cards, Dan, is not only is he good from the gate, he has really good tactical speed. He's gotten good trips at both of his starts so far. This was a perfect trip, and he sort of takes advantage and wins that. The debut at Saratoga, that wasn't my favorite, 2-year-old maiden race on the grass in there. And this horse didn't really have any excuse, but he improved and won his next start. And another horse who's in this field that we'll get to later, he really improved out of that race too and won his next start.
Siesta Key is one of 2 two-time winners in this field. He's won both of his races going a route distance, one at an off-turf event at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and then last time out when getting a good race flow and rallying from out of it to win the Kitten's Joy Stakes. He's going to get some pace again. He's battle-tested around 2 turns. He's well-connected. He's been bet in both of his races like he's the goods, and hey, he's by Into Mischief for Brad Cox.
Yeah, true. He hasn't shown it yet, Dan, on the track, although he is 2 for 2. But maybe there's something there, because you're right, they keep betting him hard. He's a lot like his dad, too. I don't know if you remember Cocoa Beach. I was a huge fan of her. She could do anything, any surface, any distance. She was just a really, really good horse. He's kind of like that, but he, to me, hasn't put it all together yet. It seems like he doesn't even really know what he's doing out there. He just hasn't run a fast race, and he hasn't been that impressive yet, but it feels like there's something there.
Giacoso has done good work on turf and dirt as well, earned a graded stakes placing on the main track last time out in the Iroquois when wired by the quality Jonathan's Way. 2 starts back on turf. It was a breakout performance for Giacoso, who won by the length of the stretch and got a figure in doing so, a 78. I think he can sort of tuck in the second flight behind the speeds for a very good trainer in Keith DeZormo.
I agree. I like him getting back to turf too. I just think this is a better surface for him. His turf debut was good. He got out a little bit late in there and really ran at the end. he just absolutely dominated that maiden field 2 starts. But good trip or not, he was ridden out in that race. He's got a real nice way of going. He's got some good tactical speed. This horse, he's pretty dangerous in here.
And Jokiso beat the 5 Minaret Station when Minaret Station was a debut runner going a mile and a 16th at Ellis Park. And then Minaret Station put it all together in his second lifetime start, a maiden special at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. I thought all in all, this was a pretty good trip here for Minaret Station. Not a very fast pace, saved ground early, takes the lead, but beats back this runner-up.
Yeah, runner-up takes a real strong run at him in this race too, but Minaret Station has plenty left. He's going to deny this horse to the end. I liked this performance, Dan. He's another one. He really improved from start number 1 to start number 2. He did get a better trip second time out, but I liked that horse really ran at him late. He turned him away.
Cavallo Bay, the number 6, is one of those Godolphin Charlie Appleby productions and is the other 2-time winner in the field, with both of his victories occurring overseas. He has one start in North America, and this was the Grade 3 with anticipation at Saratoga, where he faced a very good 2-year-old from the Chad Brown barn. Zulu Kingdom would win this race and then would go on to win the Grade 2 Pilgrim with a 76 Beyer speed figure. Cavallo Bay was hung outside, keeps on for third.
Yeah, he just can't really get himself involved here, Darren. He was on the outside most of the way in here, so maybe you want to give him, a little bit of extra credit for that. I felt like he made a move around the turn. It looked like he was going to factor, and then he just was really no match for the 1-2 finishers. I didn't think it was, a super compelling performance, right? And it's taken back the next time he showed up, but maybe he's well spotted here.
I thought Barricade, the 7, ran much better than it looks in his career debut and finishing behind Warlander. That pace was so slow, and they just started sprinting for home. There was no chance that any of the late closers could really make a dent. Yet Barricade still passed a few tired horses and was only beaten 2 lengths. I love that he showed much better interest from the gate in his second lifetime start. He stayed up close to a moderate pace, but he showed some heart and determination to wear down this horse on the lead.
Oh, yeah, it's Chad Brown horse on the lead. It was really digging in here and holds the advantage all the way down to the stripes here, Dan. Like he's not going to let Barricade get by, but Barricade just wouldn't relent here, and he's going to get the job done. I'm with you. His debut was an underrated performance. He clearly moved forward in this race. Carmouche did a good job. They rode him from the gate to make sure that he got forward in there, and Barricade did the rest.
The number 8 is Golden Afternoon, expected to be one of the pace pressers in this field after a good effort going 6.5 furlongs in his debut. This race at Kentucky Downs, this Golden Sense gelding had to go fast in the early stages. A 22-1 opening quarter, puts away his pace pursuers and goes on to win in comfortable fashion. Now he gets a class test, stepping up in class and stretching out in distance.
Yeah, pretty big ask here, stretching out just in his second career start. He wins this race really easily, Dan. I'm just wondering, how good this field was overall. Just when you see the fractions, this horse went early and it was pretty fast, and there's just nobody closing at the end of that race. It just kind of makes me feel like maybe he beat a bad field, but he ran well in his own right there, so maybe he's a talented horse.
Papiamento, the number 9, got some good experience in his career debut when 6th at a big price at Saratoga. Whit Beckman decided to put blinkers on. Papiamento showed better tactical speed, and Tyler Gaffalione gave him a very nice trip, saving ground in the pocket, getting to the outside in the stretch, but then Papiamento does it at a price.
Yeah, he does. He ran well in here. He did get a perfect trip, though. He just looked like the kind of horse first time out, like he really needed the experience and would benefit from a race, and he did, and he certainly moved forward here. Like a lot of other horses in this field, Dan, just really improved from start number 1 to start number 2, which is not that unusual. He deserves a shot in this race because he ran well winning that one.
Clock Tower is the number 10. He's very, very fast. Even though he lost his first 2 starts on dirt, he was favored for his grass debut at Kentucky Downs, and he did not disappoint. Let's watch Clock Tower's performance. He went right to the lead, got a nice little backstretch breather, but boy, when he's asked for run, he kicks away brilliantly.
Yeah, he opened up on this field immediately, right from the gate. He was very alert from the gate, went right to the lead, stayed off the inside for most of the trip, then just dropped to the rail at the top of the stretch, and he blows this field out, ridden out at the end. This was a serious performance. Another one, maybe Dan, maybe he just beat a bad field in there. I don't know. And it was at Kentucky Downs, so I try not to get too high on the performance. He looked really good in there, though.
Baytown Baracus, the number 11, is going to be a big price in this race. He's already started 3 times on the turf to no avail, but he was listed as a first-time gelding for his most recent race over the synthetic surface at Presque Isle Downs, and he took that field on a merry chase. This is a little bit of a different story from a class perspective.
He's just really hard to like on his turf form, Dan. He did improve a little bit last time, but he's not making the lead in this field, and he looks like a big long shot.
Number 12 is Reach for the Rose, going out for trainer Safi Joseph. He made his career debut in a stakes race, really in name only. It was one of those early 5/8 of a mile races at Gulfstream. All in all, I thought he ran okay. He seemed a little bit green in the early part of that race, cut the corner into the stretch, and was over and behind horses in the lane. I think the winner came back and placed in a race at Royal Ascot. Reach for the Rose then graduated in off-turf fashion. Two starts at Kentucky Downs. Boy, Safi was aggressive with this baby, wheeling him back in a week last time.
Yeah, it didn't work out either. I just don't know how hard you want to be on him for it because I thought his prior race, the sprint race at Kentucky Downs, I thought he ran pretty well in there against a good field. To me, he's a tough call, Dan. I don't know how effective he's going to be stretching out. The post is obviously not ideal. And I just feel like the two sprint races, he ran fine in them, but I just wonder if he was just sort of maybe picking up pieces at the end of those races.
13 through 15 are also eligible. So I think the 13 and 14 are the ones you want to focus on. I prefer the 13 Fleming, who looked pretty good in both starts.
I agree with you. He would be, if he gets in, he would be an interesting horse. I would probably try to get in there somewhere.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Bourbon. It's a wide open race. It's a spread race for me in any sort of multiple race wagers. I landed on Reach for the Rose. I liked his debut at Gulfstream. I thought his race two back was okay at Kentucky Downs, but he's got to work at a trip from a tough post. I also want to use your top pick, the 4 Jokoso. I loved his race two back at Ellis.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I took him on top. I feel like he's the one who might wind up being a decent price in here, Dan, even though he looks, perfectly capable on paper. Clock Tower scares me. I really liked his turf debut. I just didn't really want to take a short price on a horse who looked that good on that turf course.
Curious to see how fast this pace will be as well for Clock Tower. Mike's going 4:10.52. I'm going 12:4.62. It's a wide open edition of the Bourbon at Keeneland on Sunday. Good luck. Hey, let me give you a hot tip. If you liked the content that you've seen before, click on the like and subscribe button right here. And of course, for more DRF videos like Race of the Days, stakes previews, click on the videos right here.